I am so grateful to be the recipient of the 2020 Discover Ability Award from Disability Advocates of Kent County, but I really owe it all to them and the other disability advocates throughout our whole community for all of the success that I have had in working with others who have disabilities like me. I can't say enough positive things about this organization. Disability Advocates of Kent County continues to be a leader in our community to help people with disabilities like me. They continue to advocate, educate, and access resources in our community so people and families affected by disabilities can overcome barriers. The people that work at Disability Advocates of Kent County are in the right job for the right reasons. They really care about our community. They really care about individuals and families affected by disabilities. I know so many of them that put their whole heart and passion into the work that they do. They continue to advocate tirelessly to make the world a better place, to make the world a more inclusive place, and to make our community more accessible for all. Growing up, I didn't really know what the opportunities would look like for me in my future. I was diagnosed with a form of muscular dystrophy when I was only 2 years old, and I started using my first power wheelchair when I was 5 years old. So I always grew up using a wheelchair, and I always thought of myself as the same as all of my friends on the playground or at school. I never really identified as someone with a disability until I started getting older and I started realizing that there were significant barriers in our community. Probably around my high school years, I started noticing that I wasn't going to be able to do the same things that all of my friends were doing. I wasn't going to be able to choose any college that I wanted to go to. I didn't even know how I was going to live independently at college. I didn't know what types of jobs would be an option for me. I didn't know all of these things, and everything felt very uncertain. Because of organizations like Disability Advocates of Kent County, I did my research and I learned from so many advocates in the community. And through my experience, I wanted to become an advocate myself. So I went off to college and I was able to do so many things that I never thought I would do before. I lived independently, I studied abroad, I got involved in adaptive recreation. And if I didn't have advocates and mentors and people in the community that were rooting for me and making me believe that my goals were going to happen, I probably would have internalized a lot of negative feelings and stereotypes and ableism that exist in our community. But because of these organizations, I was able to find my voice. I was able to feel empowered. I was able to overcome barriers and stand up for myself and say, no, I'm going to define what my life looks like. I'm not going to listen to the people that have low expectations for people with disabilities, and I'm not going to settle when insurance or healthcare or teachers or employers don't make things inclusive for me. Because of Disability Advocates of Kent County and all of the work that they do, I was able to take advantage of resources and believe in myself. So I continued through college and I went to graduate school and I became a mental health therapist, specializing in working with people and families affected by disabilities because I saw the real need for more people in the community that were believing in the potential of people with disabilities. I also started an advocacy organization because I didn't think that being a mental health therapist was going to be enough. I knew that I could work with people from a counseling perspective to help empower them and help them find their voice, just as I found mine. But I also wanted to be on the front lines, in schools, in workplaces, in the communities. I wanted to be an advocate just like the people at Disability Advocates of Kent County and just like all of the other amazing leaders in our community that fight for the rights of people with disabilities. So now I wear two hats. I'm a mental health therapist, but I'm also a social worker and advocate in the community. And I do whatever I can to help people because I've been in your shoes before. I know how disheartening and frustrating it can feel to face barriers or to feel like you don't have a voice. I know how it is to feel excluded from things or to feel like a burden because of accommodations that you may need. I want to revolutionize the way that we see disabilities. I want to change all of that. I don't want people with disabilities to grow up feeling like they are being subject to all of this oppression and inequality that they face. I want people to believe in themselves, and when they need help, I want us to be there, to stand by their side, and to show them that through some innovative techniques, adaptation, creativity, and a whole lot of heart, we can make things happen. Please reach out if I can ever be helpful or supportive to you.